Santis out on the wing, goes to get that pass. The play on through.
Serious issue with the midfield. I have a serious issue with the midfield. There should be an issue with Isaac Aiden, who was so far this not the Unity Cup, the deep line playmaker, or should I say the defensive midfielder who was protecting the back line. If you should have ring your ankle, then what do we do next? We're gonna see the it took me a fairly decent while to make this video. And the reason why it actually took me a while is because I got scared. I'm telling the truth. I got scared. Why did I get scared? Because I think I saw something. I think I saw something from the team last night that I was not ready to see. And also, I was not expecting to see it. And it was very worrying, extremely worrying for me. We'll definitely discuss that and more. This is Jamaica 0, Guatemala 0 review show. So welcome back, people, to MG Sports TV. Thank you very much again for tuning in. Before we get any further, I just want to say, like, this video, it's gonna be a very good video. I say that from now. I think it's gonna be a good video. Some persons might agree, some might not agree in regards to some of the stuff that I say, but I would really genuinely appreciate it if you guys hit the like button. I've done a lot of videos in recent times. I'm realized not even reach 100 likes, and it can go over. It can go up to like 10,000, 12,000, 13,000 views, and still not hit 100 likes. And if 10,000 persons are watch, I do believe that at least 1,000 persons can hit the like button, at least, because really and truly, it doesn't cost much. It don't cost nothing at all. It's just a way of showing that you appreciate the video. Even if you don't agree with what I say, it tells me that at least you appreciate the video or the effort which I put in to convince you of the foolishness or whatever foolishness me I go say. So I'll just really implore you guys, just hit the like button. You don't even have to share the video. You don't have to do nothing at all. The only thing I'm requesting of you guys is to do something which is just very easy. It's just to touch that like button, that thumbs up button. Just to touch it, the thumbs up button. I would very much appreciate it if you guys do so. Like target, I really have none. I'm not gonna set no like target. We just appreciate if like minimum a 10% or 50% of the persons who watch the video like get the likes up. So if you see 1,000 views and you'll see 10 likes, yeah, so blows and skirts are not even 50%. I would really appreciate it still if you guys just hit the like button. Alright. Let's get into the meat of the matter. The reason why this video was quite difficult for me, I'm going to explain to you further down the video, but more I wanted to do the review first. So this video might be like 15-16 minutes video. So I would appreciate it if you stick around just to hear the reason why I was a little bit scared. And if you don't want to hear nothing else, you just want to hear the part where I'm scared, probably can fast forward it or skip past the rest of the detail of the video and jump to that. So the middle part you're gonna skip part is just me discussing where went wrong, what really went horribly wrong in that game, and things that the coach should never do again going forward. And me are hopeful say at least 1 or 2 persons who watch the middle part would come back in the comment section and tell me their thoughts. I would really appreciate that, because this video, I really want to know what your thoughts are, because I've been watching a lot of videos and I felt a little bit depressed because I got the eye opener last night. And as I said, the eye opener was not necessarily players, it was just the team in general. And it scared me. It really scared me. And me start wonder now about 2026. It really, really start wonder about 2026. The coach is a big part of it as well, a huge, huge part of it. And it does not learn from this, we might be in some serious, serious trouble. All right, let's get cracking. So let's first start off with the starting lineup. That's the first thing that we're gonna discuss. The moment I see the starting lineup, the alarm bells in my head went off. Bing, 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 bing. Why? Something was wrong with the starting lineup. Something was significantly wrong with the starting lineup. Now, let's put that in perspective. The absence of Isaac Aiden. As you can see at the front part of this video, I did mention, I'm going to say knock would hopefully that would never have to face a situation where he's absent. And fast forward, we are in that specific position. How did we end up here? Probably I'm going to go mouth. Maybe. maybe I'm going to go mouth. Anyways, Andre Blake in goal. The coach went for a 4-3-3. You know, similar to a 4-2-3-1. And Andre Blake in goal, Lati Body at right back, Amar Bell left back, centre back pairing of Richard King and Ethan Pinnock. And I did mention that Richard King and Ethan Pinnock will be the centre back partnership. In the middle of the park, we had Damian Lowe as the holding midfielder. From my perspective, I thought he was playing as the attacking midfielder. I could have said that totally wrong. I could be seeing that vastly wrong. Because I think that 90% of the game that I've seen, whilst he was in the middle of the park, he was playing really too high. Not touch on that yet. Demar Gray to the left hand side, John Russell to the right hand side. Up front on the left hand side, we have leading the line, we have Ronaldo Cephas on the left, Leon Bale on the right, and Ronald Brown down the middle. Now, this starting lineup, from many perspectives, a lot of persons say, boy, this can work. And the reason why the alarm bell went off for me is Damian Lowe in the middle of the park. Not saying this is not a slight on Damian Lowe. It's not saying Damian Lowe is not a good player. Because you would have seen when he shift to the centre back position, you would have seen that his better qualities would have come out. But in the middle of the park, the type of player that this game needed was not the type of player of Damian Lowe's nature. More aggressive, front-footed, early in the tackle. No, that was actually not what was needed in this game. What was really needed in this game was someone who could hold on to the ball, recycle the ball, and also break the lines out of the left half space or the right half space when they do receive the ball. Breaking the left half space, giving Demar Gray the ball as early as possible. Breaking the right half space, giving John Russell the ball early as possible would be ideal. Now, in this game, Damian Lowe had significantly more touches on the ball or off the ball than off the playmaker, in which would have been Demar Gray, and also the 8/10 in John Russell, who was going to be crushing the back. John Russell, who played 85 minutes in this game, who should be one of our main midfielders in getting the ball in a danger zone or getting himself on the ball in the danger zone, only had a total of 19 touches in 85 minutes of football. 19 touches, 85 minutes of football. Now, Demar Gray had a total of 22 touches. So, 19 and 22, 41 touches between the two players who should make things happen in the final third. Damian Lowe had a total of 67. 67. Damian Lowe almost had double both of them touches combined. That is very, very worrying. The player on the pitch with the most touches was Ethan Pinnock. Player on the pitch with most touches was Ethan Pinnock. Now, this game should have been a game for Leon Bailey. Why is that so? In the attacking lineup, Leon Bailey had the most touches in the attacking third, which is 54 touches. So this game clearly states that Leon Bailey received the ball more than anyone else, even more than the midfielders that were behind him. Which means that he should have had a huge impact on this game. No, you are going to know. Out of the 57 touches that he had, 54 touches that he had, lost possession of the ball 21 times. That's not good enough. That's certainly not good enough. Now, here's the worrying part. Very worrying. Our striker that was leading the line in Werner Brown had a total of 12 touches. 12 touches. Most of the work that Werner Brown did was running in the line, trying to get himself involved. Cephas had a total of 45. Cephas actually one of our most dangerous players. Got in behind defenders quite a few times. But generally not enough. But there's a reason why two players who would have made the most impact on this game, their touches were so limited solely because of the aspect of Damian Lowe right behind them. So with most of the touches that Damian Lowe had, most of the passes that Damian Lowe made was to fullback or the centre back. So there was no ball reaching half space, which should have been either left or right, which should have been to John Russell or to Demarai Gray, which is going to get the ball in the dangerous area. So you see where the game start go wrong? Games start going wrong from the starting lineup. Now, when things really get bad, when the coach made the first change of the game, now the goal scored in the 32nd minute. Yeah, maybe people can say, boy, I say go. At least we have over 60 minutes of football to get back. All right, we have about 60 minutes of football to get back into the game. 60 minutes, relatively. But when halftime came, Steve McLaren took off Richard King and put on Lemmy Kisa, trying to rectify the problem. From my perspective, I'm not a coach. I think that's where it went down the gully. This is what happened. Pull Richard King, put on Lemmy Kisa, put Latibo there in the middle of the park. Damian Lowe to the centre back position. That's worrying. That's many might not understand how worrying that is, because this is a point in which where Guatemala realize that we're not hurting them, so they have no more freedom to catch us in transition. Yes, we had a little bit more of the possession, but we weren't doing anything with the possession. So they were just waiting on us to cause ourselves self-inflicted issues, and then pounce upon us and try to catch it. That's the reason why they were caught. They got us caught off quite so often in a dangerous zone of the pitch, getting off some really good shots. Who can remember us getting off really good shot or the Guatemala keeper making big saves? I can't. I can't recall seeing the Guatemala keeper making any big save as according to that. I just can't recall. Whilst we can clearly remember Andre Blake making huge saves to keep us into the game. Now, maybe we can probably say a little bit of overconfidence playing at that based off like Fox say we beat them the other day. We're going to this game now and we think say we'll get better at them. That never happened. The coach did mention that it will be a different game. Coach did say that. Now, where it become worrying for me, it really become extremely worrying for me was when he pulled Gray put on Palmer, pull Werner Brown, put on Burrell. This is now technically showing the kitchen sink at it. This is just technically just a show the kitchen sink at it. And let me tell you how worrying that also is. Because when Burrell came on in the 67 minutes. So technically, you get like about 20 minutes of football. Burrell had 0 touches. That is worrying. Burrell has 0 touches. So you see the trajectory we're up on now. From here to down. That was extremely worrying for me. Damian Lowe went down. And pulled Damian Lowe. Put on Dixon. Mikel Antonio. That's also worrying. Romario Williams on the bench. Well, Mikel Antonio, maybe some would say, boy, him not look like him ready. Some would say him look ready. I really don't. I don't really say much on that. But this performance is very, very concerning. Extremely concerning. And I'm hopeful that the coach look upon this and say, boy, this don't look good. Now, the reason why I said that I'm extremely worried about what I see today is last night, there was clear evidence that Steve McLaren panicked. Clear. It was very, very clear. And it decided to throw the kitchen sink at it. Steve McLaren panicked. The players panicked. When Steve McLaren made the first change and took off Richard King, that's when it just went down the hill. Why? At that point in time, Damian Lowe already on a yellow card. Not saying I'm going to get a red. Not saying I'm going to get a red. But at that moment, the team needed an added midfielder, a technical midfielder, someone who can put them foot on the ball and play the ball forward. That's all it in, as early as possible. That's all the team needed. He went for a like for like. Damian Lowe, Latibodier. Latibodier, not necessarily midfielder. He was actually having a good game at right back. Even though Latibodier was at right back, he did an invert, coming at the middle of the park. But at the end of the day, you had Casey Palmer on the bench. The moment when he made the Richard King change, let me tell you, what he should have done, in my perspective, I could be totally wrong. My perspective was, since you're going to move Damian Lowe from the middle of the park, pull Damian Lowe, put on Casey Palmer, push Casey Palmer forward, bring back Russell. Russell can play the number 6 role. In a game like that, you don't need an aggressor in the middle of the park because we had more of the possession. Because we have an aggressor, but yet still they're winning the ball and give it in the back, and I give it back away. That doesn't make no sense. When we can get the ball and hold possession of the ball and find the right pass in the attacking phase of the game, it's better. Now, what you'll find out is that you end up pull all of the midfielders them and had a bundle. Any game with one bungler strike up on the pitch, we just run up and down. We just mad. We just run up and down. That's how I would run up and down, so I try to score. That in England, they don't call that throw the kitchen sink at it. But really and truly, when I watch a game, I was baffled. I'm like, we don't know what we're doing. We really don't know what we're doing. We just have try to get the ball there. And at this point in time, all Guatemala had to do, stay compact, stay structured, the ball around. Avoid the dangerous issues. That's all they had to do. And if I'm being honest, it never looked good, and I'm not worried because what's going to happen here now, you look into it, you'd realize Guadeloupe technically are the easiest team in the group. We should have gotten the result over Guatemala. But in the event, so we get the result from Guadeloupe, right? Panama look highly unlikely we're going to get the result from them. One, No, not saying we're not gonna get in, you know. But we don't have a good record versus Panama. Historically, we have played Panama total of 21 games. I've only registered 4 wins. And now this is a game that we have to go bank on getting a result. And versus a team that historically we don't have good record against. Historically. Now, let's say what we're gonna have to do now is we're gonna have to beat Guadeloupe and definitely have to get a result from the Panama game. We might be in some trouble because Panama, in the event Panama and Guatemala draw, quote unquote, that already put them on 4 points. Guatemala would have Guadeloupe left to play, which quote unquote, not saying that Guatemala automatically be Guadeloupe, but Guadeloupe is the weakest team in the zone, which means technically persons will be banking on that 3 points. A lot of teams will be banking on that 3 points. You know, not saying that it's easy, but technically that should be the case. We should be getting those 3 points. Fortunately, that's not the case at the moment. So I am now worried that we might not make it out of the group. Realistically, we should, but at this present moment, it doesn't look that way. I'm hopeful this is a learning curve for the coach. And the panic when I see him panic, me kind of worried about that. I'm like, you're showing a lot of fear here. Fling all the eyeglass. Fling all the eyeglass. Supposed to tap on your broke it. Jeez. That was rough. Anyways, tell me what you're thinking in the comment section, people. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. And I'll see you guys again. Until next time. It was really hard for me to do, and I don't know. Based off of that, I kind of feel a little bit heartbroken. Anyways, soon again, people. MG Sports TV. Out. God bless. Boom. Outside. Girls them what? Them say what? Outside.